sobre tu vida. Te voy a preguntar cómo te llamas, dónde naciste, quiero que platiques un poco de tus papás. We'll talk about the culture.
Rolling.
Veronica Torres is the second generation of Alcanzando Metas Foundation, and it's a pleasure to have you here. So you can begin with your name. My name is...
¿En español o en
English?
Okay. My name is Veronica Torres. I was born in El Salvador, and I came to the U.S. when I was 13 years old.
13 years old, and you came to Roosevelt High School, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I came to Roosevelt High School. I came to McFarland Middle School, which is part of DC Public Schools first. And I was an 8th grader there, and then the following year I went to Roosevelt.
And you didn't speak no English?
My first year here, no, I didn't. Mm-mm.
So how you feel when you arrived without speaking English and everything?
It was hard. You don't have any friends, you don't know anyone. All you have is your family with you. I had my little brother with me and my parents. So I was the first one to learn the language, so I became the translator for my family. So anything they needed, I had to do. So you become a parent at a really young age, kind of, because you have to, like the most basic things you have to do for your family.
And you somehow was always taking care of your little brother, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your parents had to work.
Yeah, my parents had to work, so I was, and I'm also older than my little brother. I'm 24 now, he's 17, so I'm 7.5 years older than he is.
Yeah, so you really have to take care, come back from school and take care of
them. Yeah.
And your parents went to middle school, high school?
My parents went to graduate high school in El Salvador, and my mom actually was a nurse. She went to school, but then when they came here, it doesn't translate from the education from being in El Salvador and being here. Part of it is the language barrier, so it's hard to learn the language really quickly and adapt to the new rules and regulations of having to work in the U.S. So it was easier to just find a job that they felt comfortable in, and that's what they work in now.
So during the high school, I remember you were part of many extracurricular activities, and I remember you do a lot of baseball, no?
Different activities, yeah.
What kind of activities did you do?
So I was part of Alcanzando Metas with you for about 3 years, right? I think you came when we were sophomores, so I was in that. I think I try to be in a lot of different things because I wanted to keep busy. It wasn't necessarily that I was thinking about, what can I do next, but it was more, what can I do after school to learn the language and to be exposed to different things. So I think that was kind of like the thinking.
So in the sports, what was your sport that you played?
Oh, I played baseball for 2 years.
Baseball
Or softball for the girls.
Yeah, I remember. And so you were the president of Society Hispanic Engineership, and then we went to Pennsylvania. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, we went on the trip. We took, how many people was it that went to?
Like 23.
It was like 20 something people. We spent a weekend, 2 days in Philly, and that was my first time going to Philly. And it was a great experience. I think we were in a room together. We got to meet high school students from other cities, and also got to meet professionals. I think that was the best part about it, getting to see people who looked like us and who were able to have those dreams that we all had as kids, but they were accomplished, and
So during the time that with Alcanzando Metas, what would you share about it? What you experienced that you like it?
I think the companionship with other students, getting to know your skills as a leader. I think, I remember several people like with Carla, and we will say after school we would like do things together and try to organize things. Getting to, I can't remember his name. Dr. He would come in and do. Yeah, he would do the 7 habits of a student. So what are the things that you need to do to become, a student, to practice that, things that make you better over time. That mind shift of how can you be someone without having the skills that you need to do that. So I remember that.
That was great. One of the things I remember that you love education. You love education, and I remember you were the teacher for the civil rights one time, teaching the middle school. Remember that time that you were?
Yeah, we went to McFarland. So we went back. We were teaching about with Ms. Ewell. I think. What were we teaching about? We were teaching about the civil rights. We had to put a lesson together, and we had to teach them about what we were learning in U.S. government class to the, I think it was 7th and 8th graders.
Did you like the experience?
I think, yeah, I very much remember that experience. It was it was daunting standing in front of all of the kids and having to speak with them and having to teach them something. 'Cause I've never been in the role of a teacher. You know, in school you're always a student getting the lesson and the one who's like, if you're there that day, then you're learning, but you're never on the other side of the class. Mm-hmm.
So you went to college. How you decide to go to college? Which college did you go? And do you remember your experience when you went to Harvard?
I did go to Harvard for one summer, and it was through the Aussie program. They had like a summer scholarship program for if you wanted to go experience what college life was like for high school students. So I did that, and then that was going from junior into senior year. And then I ended up going to the George Washington University, and it was all because of a scholarship. Yeah, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to attend.
So you have a full scholarship for going to George Washington. What did you study there?
I ended up majoring in public health, and I did a minor in mathematics.
And now, after you finished to college, during the time in college, did you feel different because you were Hispanic? There were many Hispanics around you?
GW had it. I think it was becoming like that at the time. There was it was this group of students called the Multicultural Student Services Center. So like anyone who identified themselves as a student of color, they would come to the center, and you could meet people who had a very similar background and experience as you did. But it was definitely a cultural, I guess, difference from coming from Brightwood in Petworth and going downtown. Even though we're in the same city, 2 miles away, it's a completely different world.
Did you live inside the school? Or
I did, yeah. So I lived on campus.
There was an issue with your mother about that living?
No, they were excited for that I was getting to experience something that they hadn't, and they were very supportive. So I was always really thankful that my parents. Yeah.
What other extracurricular activities did you do during college?
What other? Let me see. I did. At the beginning, I was interested in medical school, so I was part of the. There was a group of students called the Medical School Students Association. So like for undergrads who were interested in doing that, so I did that. Within the Multicultural Student Services Center, there was also the Latino students, so I was very involved in that activity. And I also worked during school, so I didn't have like all of the time to join other things. So a lot of time was also doing work at the school.
Okay. So after you finished college, what did you decide to do?
So after I finished my 4 years at GW, and I had done public health, I wanted to go back to my community. It felt comfortable. I think that was the main reason why, because it was something that I knew, and it's a great way to enter a field that I felt very passionate about. Going back to my school, having more kids who look like me come to school, come to school like GW. So I joined Teach for America. And it's a program that places college students in urban districts within the U.S. And it so happened that they placed me here in D.C.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and it so happens that they placed me in a school that's in my neighborhood. Yeah, so it all happened surprisingly, and the stars were aligned in a way. Coming back to my neighborhood and being able to work in my.
So what school are you teaching now?
I teach at Truesdale Education Campus, which is a school. It's a DC public school, and we have students preschool all the way through 8th grade. And I teach in the middle school side, so I teach 7th and 8th grade.
What classes do you teach?
I'm a math teacher.
Math teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you have 2 classes? Do you have a?
No, I teach different classes. I teach 7th grade math, I teach 8th grade math, and I teach Algebra 1.
What is the thing that you like more about teaching?
My students, they're full of life and dreams, and they can already see themselves becoming great things in the future, and just making sure that they're making the right choices from the very beginning. It's really rewarding, teaching them every day, whenever they're unsure about their answers, making sure that they take the right steps, making sure that they're double checking their work, and the same things they're going to need later on in life. Double check your dreams, double check that you're doing the right things for the right reasons. You're always doing the right thing for the right reason.
Is there many Latinos in the school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a primarily Latino population. So 60% of the student body is Latino. About 35%, 35% is African American, and the other 5% is Asian.
What do you think about mentoring? What do you think that's important about mentoring? Do you think you have mentors around your way?
I had a lot of mentors in high school. You were one of them, so Trazando Metas. I also remember the Gear Up program, so Mr. Brinkley and Miss Mitchin were also great mentors at the time.
In college, did you have the opportunity to find mentors?
Several professors were really supportive of me, especially in the School of Public Health. Just being able to listen to their life experiences, I think, helped a lot.
If you had the opportunity to share the experience to go to college with other women, what would you tell them, to other young women?
Make sure that you follow your dreams. Like anything that you want to do, you're capable of doing as long as you work hard. Yeah.
And so when will be the moment that you should begin to think about college? What do you think? Will be middle school or high school?
When you're little, like kids should be exposed to the idea